WildPlay is way bigger than just, going out and doing business. WildPlay is about making a change. It's about friendships.
Yeah.
It's about partnerships. It's about just realizing that you can do stuff because you will when you can. Well, we met through climbing, and then we played a ton together, and then we started this great climbing guiding company called Slipstream. We did everything from teach wilderness first aid to rock climbing to taking people up big peaks all over North America to the best climbing areas in North America.
We were doing what we loved, and we just really liked showing that to people and giving them a skill and giving them the sort of training and the ability to go out and experience those same things.
Absolutely, it was just watching people develop and reach new places. People went on to go and climb the highest peaks in the world. People went on to go and do all these crazy things. People went on to go and achieve better grades in high school. I mean, whatever, but there was definitely a relationship between what folks were doing and what we were providing them with.
I think about year 9 or something, you went to get a real job.
Yeah. Well, I entered the corporate world. It was a company with a global presence. They did a lot of business, big systems, e-commerce. They did huge online dollars.
I knew that he was not super happy in what he was doing.
And the reason I left is it was time. I think we were starting to have massive layoffs in senior management, and I was given a great option to go off and pick another thing. And in the background, Gord had already come to me and said, hey, why don't we go do something cool?
It was the trip to France that really cemented it. We had our paragliders with us, and we drove through France and went flying a bunch of places. And we also had sort of done some research on these adventure parks that we heard were all over. And so we started visiting them, and we were really like, these are great.
France was about product evaluation for us, right? We wanted to go and see these things, and we wanted to see them as a product that might be a part of a mix.
We wanted to bring something, that kind of excitement to people in a way to make it more accessible.
Yeah.
To make it so they didn't, it's like, oh, I could never do that, right? We want something that people could do.
Well, we came up with a way of putting various products or elements together on physical sites that are in natural settings. They're close to urban environments. And the idea is to draw people into those environments and have them experience, these activities and take whatever comes from that back to their day-to-day life.
It's very cool, the whole experience of the elevation, the challenge, and the, kind of the self-guided kind of nature of it, like that you're kind of in charge of your own path.
It's exhilaration and this absolute sense of thrill.
Oh my goodness!
It's one of the few places that I've seen adults actually go, we're playing as equals. Kids and adults playing as equals, and it's really quite refreshing because adults don't do enough of that. They don't play enough, and they don't release enough to just go, woohoo! And when you see them out with kids and this going on, it is an incredibly magic thing. Like, it's awesome. It's just awesome.
And they do it on their own. Nobody's helping them. No one's pulling them along or showing them every step of the way. They're doing it themselves. And I think that's a huge sense of self in that.
Essentially, what we're creating is a network of sites that all share commonalities in terms of the underlying thing that they give to the people that visit them, but they're all intended to be unique. Every site that we have has different activities, has a different mix. Even an aerial adventure course that we have will have a different mix of games in it. Every site has a signature kind of something that you would know it by that's different than the others. And the idea is to have folks come and experience them all.
We're doing adventure activities, and so risk management is definitely one of the big keys
Any apparatus that we have, we inspect it on a regular basis, and we don't just inspect it, we keep looking at it from the point of view of how we could make it better. We don't believe that accidents are acceptable. We don't believe that accidents just happen. We believe that that's a sequence of events that, we should have had some ability to interject a change that would keep that from happening. In terms of the risk that folks are exposed to at our sites, a lot of it is perceived risk. That's the kind of neat trick shot for us, is that we have people feeling like they're really at risk, and they get the benefit of exposing themselves to that, and they get the benefit of managing that in terms of how they go through at height in an aerial obstacle course, or how they approach a bridge or some exciting event that's going to happen on that bridge. But the reality is that it's perceived risk. There isn't really a huge risk. It's just making that mental hurdle and getting over it. 3, 2, 1, bungee! I don't know if it's the nature of what we do that makes it happen, but we seem to attract people that have a really good hosting kind of ethic. They come into work and they have fun. You can see the staff just has it totally figured out. They're very organized. They're very good at making the risk management and the guest service part of it seamless. And they get off on watching people do their thing, but then also relating to them. They're like, hey, how was that? I mean, they really care. I think our company's built on providing people with a lot of freedom to be who they are, and that's balanced with discipline. And the discipline is about making sure that our standards are met and that we're just not compromising the things that would result in, safety risks for our guests.
One of the biggest challenges is trying to find the right place.
In some cases, we're looking at acquisitions, and we've done acquisitions. In some cases, we're approaching municipal or government bodies and saying, hey, what if we do this like this here with you folks? There really isn't a limit to how we would do it. We'll buy land. If we need to buy land, we've done that as well. There's great opportunities for us in taking something that's been doing maybe a certain type of business for some period of time, and then refurbishing it and bringing it into our brand and our standards and adding our mark to it.
And each park is a standalone entity that has a relation to the parent, and that relation to the parent makes sure that the standards are up and the training are up and the equipment are up to what we expect from a WildPlay park.
I'd say if there's anything, it's that we're flexible and that we're disciplined in partnership. I believe that by having this form of play and making it available, I really do think we're going to see a tipping point. It's going to become something that is going to become very widespread. I think what's going to happen is it will be a grassroots kind of thing where kids will be playing in these new ways. Adults will be re-engaging in play in these ways, and I think it's going to make a big difference. I do. I think we have
salvation through play.
Well, people don't do things that are amazing when they're locked up in terror. They do the amazing things when they realize that they're going to break free and make a difference. That's when they truly will go do amazing things. And it's like, that can start like a pebble bumping into a rock, bumping into a boulder, bumping into a landslide. And I think that we have the potential to be part of that pebble. I think there's a lot of movements underway right now that are also trying to do that. And I think there's this big sway, and I think we're in the right place to be a part of that. Whatever this thing goes on to become, that other people get to take it and benefit from it.
Lots of people have had faith in us, and we have duty to repay that in full.
Yep.